There we go. All right. Kinnokuman. So since starting this sketch, I noticed his head's a little big. Anytime you're drawing larger than life, muscular characters, maybe make their head smaller. It gives the illusion that they're bigger than they are. In real life, a lot of people that are like really muscular actually have really big heads. But we are talking about the world of comic book illustration or illustration in general. Ooh, we have somebody else online today. Who else is online? What's up, Jimmy Odell? Who that? Who there?
What up, Bernard?
Oh, Mr. Fletch. Fletch.
How you doing?
Fletch CHUFONG. I should have heard from the... That it was Fletch. What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm just checking in, saying hello. I'm about to take off in Singapore. My mom, my sister.
Oh,
so
all right.
Yeah. But wanted to say hey and have a great stream.
You guys are in Singapore right now already?
We're in Singapore right now, but we're leaving to meet up with some of my sister's friends.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope to see you next week.
Oh,
and,
next week? Yeah, we'll get together next week.
All right, man.
All right.
How's everything? You doing all right?
Yep.
All right. Cool. All right. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Okay, see ya.
See you next week. All right. Take care, brother.
Bye.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Oh, that was Fletch CHUFONG. Mr. Fletch. This is the Kinnokuman sketch. Where is the... I'm thinking there's the people like the elbow. This is what I'm envisioning. Like there's going to be like a couple spotlights or something, you know, from the stadium. Whatever behind him. But should he be jumping out? Does he have normal... like opponents? Does he have like a rival opponent? Or is he just hello, Mr. Flowers. J Dang, thanks for the resub. 45 months. Woof. What's up, J Dang? Thank you so much. The Lead Shaolin. Hey Noah, how's it going? All right. Oh, Mr. Chen. What's going on, Mr. Chen? Oh, there's Carl Choi on chat. What's up?
Is he?
I caught you guys on your live stream. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Oh, yeah.
24/7 live stream?
Yeah.
With,
talked a little...
You guys were talking shop?
Yeah. It was about Kickstarter.
And Justin Jordan.
Yeah.
Is he still
made a rare on-camera appearance.
Yeah. Is he still on like the 4-liter Diet Coke diet a day? Diet?
I think he had some health issue. Like he might have had a heart attack or something. So, I don't know. Maybe he changed his ways a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I remember like I met him a few years ago. This was maybe like 10 years ago or so.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, he drinks like two 2-liter bottles of like, I think Coke.
Yeah, and then he'd have like those trays of fried food from the cafeteria.
Yeah, like Mountain Dew or something. I was like, man, that's not. And he was already like kind of not that healthy back then. I was like, dude, that's not a really healthy diet.
He's doing fine.
I mean, I used to drink half a 2 liter. I used to drink about 1 liter of like Diet Mountain Dew a night, but that was for the caffeine. So, there's Tony. Yeah. So, well, okay. Well, so is he doing? He's doing one of the 24/7 comics.
The next one, yes. The next Kickstarter that 24/7 Comics does is going to be a book called Zero Ghosts. So it's him and this guy. Do you know this guy named what's his name? Brian Chang.
Yes, Brian Chang was. Didn't he work at DC in production? And he drew some stuff. He drew when they did the not New 52. I think when they did the new DCU, the YOU DCU. He was drawing Supergirl, I think, but he was like forever. I think he was working at DC in the offices as a. I don't know if he was like an assistant editor or if he was like a production person there. And then Carl said something that he was working on Star Wars.
Yeah.
What was he doing on Star Wars?
Cool stuff.
He was on. He was a Top Cat. Yeah.
Very dynamic artwork.
Yeah, he has a very like I hesitate to use sketchy as a term.
Yeah, like Eric Canetti almost like.
Well, it's very angular, right? So it has a little bit of the Sean Gordon Murphy kind of angularness, like very sharp. I would say the lines are kind of sharp. Does have a little bit more of a animated cartoonish style, but I mean when you see it, it's definitely it's his. You can see some notes of other styles in his work, but I think I'm curious like why he doesn't like do more comics work. I mean, I guess he's working at.
I don't think he. Well, I mean, I think you'd have to really like to do comics. There's some really great artists out there who just don't do comics, and they're probably smarter because of it. I don't think there's like in terms of the art professions out there, the art profession that requires the most skill in terms of like being able to draw pretty much from scratch right out of your head and draw everything and draw with that sheer volume of stuff. So the schedule is crazy. The pace and the amount of drawing you do and the level of expertise you have to master, anatomy perspective and everything else, and storytelling on top of that, and draw like really small. That's a really rarefied ability. So like, like people like I don't know, like there's a lot of great painters and stuff. They can't do it because they have to focus on one piece, like one oil painting that they spend a month on. So comics is a whole different thing, and on top of that, you get no love for it because it's all about the writers now. So all the stuff that you do, like I think for the amount of time you put into your work and the level that you do it at, you're getting paid very little.
Yes. Well, definitely. I mean, if you're comparing pay, if you're working in the entertainment business, like doing concept design or anything else for that matter, generally the pay per hour is a little bit is much higher. I mean, as a starting animator, if you're doing like I don't know, in betweens or you're getting.
What gets me is the level of mastery that you have to do comics is through the roof. I mean, there are people who draw like nicer things, like they like more realized, like maybe like Alex Ross, but those are mostly like cover stuff. So if you combine the accuracy and the draftsmanship with the volume of stuff we have to do and the fact that it has to kind of be pulled out of your head.
Right.
That should be, I don't know, that you should get paid as much as a brain surgeon does, but you get paid very, very little. Like even like professional artists who's really well known, sometimes you work it out, they get about minimum wage.
Yeah,
you can just sit on the subway and then pretend to draw people on Coke cans and make so much more money than what you do here.
Right.
So
pretend, that's the key. Pretend to draw people on Coke cans.
So is it that we're really bad business people and just don't know how to leverage our ability?
I think so. I think there's a part of that.
Yeah. We're just maybe too old and the world has passed us by. The young kids know how to take what little crappy talent they have and their laziness and then actually do much, much better than us.
Oh, well. I mean, we could start we can be influencers and start a YouTube, and then make that YouTube money.
But can you say that you're an influencer that's in your 50s?
Yeah. Right? I mean, the age is creeping us. Jay Dang used to drink that stuff. He used to love the do, but he cut it out. Yeah, I don't really drink that much soda anymore. Sean knows, I used to drink Diet Coke all the time.
Yeah, like 1 liter a day or something. But
yeah, half a 2 liter bottle.
Like, I used to think it's not that bad for you, but the diet stuff I think is bad for your. Like, we're only learning about the biome that's in our gut now. All that stuff is like very new. Within the past few years, we're still understanding it. And while the aspartame may not harm anything, you may not gain weight, but it probably is destroying your biome.
Yeah,
and that we haven't tested yet.
Well, my doctor said to me, like, if I'm traveling anywhere, because I travel quite a lot, if I'm eating any kind of foods that I might be kind of suspicious, like any kind of like street foods, I should probably drink a can of Coke with that, because the Coke, the acidic nature of Coca-Cola will kill any kind of harmful bacteria that would be in your stomach. But at the same time, if it's killing bacteria, Coke isn't not going to be like, oh, you're good bacteria versus bad bacteria. So it's going to be killing all the bacteria. So I'm sure when I was drinking a lot of Diet Coke, it was my bacterium or gut. I'm thinking about it. I was young too, so. But then I guess when I got older, that's probably why I lost some weight really quickly when I stopped drinking Diet Coke. Was because
you're much better off because you switched to drinking something much healthier, whiskey.
Oh, yeah, whiskey, coffee. Now in Taiwan, I'm drinking. I think I figured it out. I've been very lethargic lately. In the U.S., there's a glut of like these energy drinks, like Red Bull. I don't really drink Red Bull or Monster. I don't really drink Monster, but I drink other stuff. Like I've had it on the stream before where they're kind of like seltzer energy waters. The one I loaded up on was now they're out of business. That's what's concerning me too, is that there were a lot of these energy drinks. I'm trying to remember the name of the energy drink I had. I went through two. I loaded up on this last one and they went out of business. And it's like a seltzer, so it's not very flavored. They do have flavor, but it's not like overly sweet. It's actually very bland. The flavor is very, very minimal. But the caffeine content is like about 180 milligrams per can, which is more than.
Oh, Courtney's in the chat. How come Courtney doesn't come? She doesn't hang out with us anymore.
Yeah, what's up? And so here in Taiwan, they don't have a lot of energy drinks. They have Monster, but only like select flavors. They have Red Bull, but only a select flavors, and I don't like those two because they're like too sweet. And I just want stuff with a little caffeine in it. I don't really want the flavor. And I want it in a soda format because I like the fizz. So I'm reduced to drinking. Now there's a lot of like black coffee or iced coffee. But since all the labels are in Chinese, I don't know how much caffeine I'm getting. So thank you for the resub, Dr. Midnight, 26 months. Lurky Lurk, thank you for the resub, 31 months. Thank you so much, Dr. Midnight. Hope everything's going good. We did a little review of Dr. Midnight's comic a couple weeks ago. Last week we did a Simple Man review. Your Jimbo says...
Here. I'm here. Yeah, there you go.
What's up, Courtney?
This stream has been too educational for the past couple times, so... Now it's back to fun and games.
Alright, I feel a little under the weather. I think I'm getting sick, but not sick yet. I'm kind of in that bad
well, maybe
spot.
You're finally getting COVID, so you can join the rest of us who's had it. I'm at
Honestly,
the 3 times
it
club.
does frighten me. It frightens me that I haven't had it yet. So yeah.
You just got it again, Sean? Sean, you just got COVID again? Sean just got COVID again?
No, I've had it 3 times.
Jesus Christ. Well, kids will bring everything home, so.
Yeah.
Cats don't do that. House cats don't do that.
Well, now don't you have to worry about the bird flu if you have a dog or a pet? Isn't the bird flu a thing now in the U.S.?
Yeah, you can't. Don't mouth your bird. You know, no like kisses.
No bird love.
Yeah, where's beef with the get back? No. Well, actually, that's Carson.
Did you see that what is it? The UAE is flooding.
Oh yeah,
right
Paulo. Why is that? Because it's raining, or what's going on?
Well, I think because that city sprung up overnight. It didn't slowly evolve over time. That they just never really built it to be that robust when it rains. Like, whoops, we should have, maybe put some drainage in the city.
Well, even just bushes and other kind of natural occurring, unless it's just pure desert will flood all the time. But if even like bushes and those type of desert plants, they'll actually prevent floods from happening. So if they kind of removed all those, then yeah, they'll definitely.
The desert floods once in a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'll freeze, it'll flood. Some of the coldest weather has been in like the Chinese deserts around China.
Well, Paulo's in Dubai, so I wonder. There's a lot of development. Dubai is mostly just the last 20, 30 years they really built up Dubai. So it's still a fairly... I mean, the interesting, too, is you hear the news about, how they were going to build the line where it was going to be like a 150-mile-long city with city infrastructure inside of, like, these 2 metallic kind of columns or 2 metallic walls. Did you hear about that? Like, I think
I didn't. I'm sure they always have crazy ideas.
I think it was last year or the year before, they announced an initiative to build this 150-mile-long city. And because of urban sprawl, where everything's kind of spread out, they wanted to build something that was like, like this. Like if I drew it like here. So this was... And then inside would be the cities, and this would be the, so the city would be compressed inside these 2 things, and it would be 150 miles long. And then this.
So
would be...
what's the purpose of the steel? Is it for like safety, like defense or something? Like that?
I think it's more. There's a little bit of like a confinement so that it kind of stays inside. But then, usually like a city would be like all over, like, you build a city.
Are they afraid of kaiju or like attack on Titan?
No, I think it's just a design thing. So it's supposed to be 150 miles. Like you live inside this, 2 slabs, and there's all the city functions in here. Transportation, you wouldn't have a car. It'd be like mass transit. It'd be 150 miles long, right? And it frees up all this natural resource, so you have like this natural land all around, and you compress all the human development into these 2 walls. But I think due to technology and funding, I think lack of funding, that 150 miles is now, guess how much? Guess how many miles?
What?
3.
Couple miles.
1.5 miles.
It's close.
Yeah, so it was
150 miles. That's
150 miles.
To Los Angeles.
1.5 miles is I mean, even 1.5 miles, I think would be. It's still a feat in itself.
It just basically they turn into a mall.
Yeah, pretty much like a 1.5 mile long mall.
Malls are usually that big.
But it's like it's multiple levels high. All of your city infrastructure needs will be held inside. So, yeah. What's that? Is that a bird?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
isn't that your
That's outside of my room.
Oh. Oh, Dr. Midnight. His father accidentally set himself on fire. Oof. He's getting surgery tomorrow. Man, Dr. Midnight. I hope your parents are doing good. I hope he gets through that surgery. So.
Yes, Dr. Man is not having an easy time of it lately. With
His mother was sick last year, yeah, and then I think he got COVID. So, but I hope it, pulls through everything. It's a rough time, but yeah, head up. If you get also, I would recommend like writing it down and telling a story with it. It's not a story that you have to share with anyone. But definitely for me, I think I mentioned this in the past when I've had traumatic moments in my life. To deal with it, I've written it down in story format and started drawing it in a comic book. And found that was very therapeutic.
and there's that artist, Nick Batara, who wrote this wrote and drew a book called Axe Wielder John or something like that. He practically did most of that book. I don't know how much of it, maybe the writing part, at the bedside of his wife or son who was in the hospital. So he kind of just made use of that time, and then a lot of that stuff was infused into the story. So yeah, Nick Batara's interview was on what was it, that Sean Crystal and Eric Canetti, that thing.
Ink Pulp
Audio. Yeah, Ink Pulp Audio. Big, long interview.
What's going on these days? Was this recent or is this?
Yeah, it's the latest episode.
Oh, okay. What is any news going on this week? It's been a rather dramatic last couple of weeks in the comic book industry. What's going on these days? Anything this week?
Well, Trina Robbins passed away, for one.
Yes.
And then and Jim Lee's opening up his commission list.
Oh yeah.
I think you can get artwork starting at $20,000, all the way to $35,000.
Well, did you see this the last weekend? Frank Cho was at some convention, and he was charging. Frank's our boy. How much? Guess how much he was charging for a bust?
What? 1,000.
Close. $800. Yeah. So the prices of this original art is really going up.
He has 9 or 10 kids.
Does he?
Not sure how that happened.
Frank Cho? No, Jim.
Oh no, Jim Lee.
Yeah.
So I understand he's doing all that because he's got kids that are kind of on their way to college. So,
I think all but two or three are already out of the house. I mean, one just got married, I think, this year, and Sean almost got married to a comic book legend's daughter once. That was a story. Oh, we're not gonna say the name though. No, well, a comic book legend's daughter was really interested in Sean.
I don't know anything about that. Where was I when that was happening?
You were in New York. You were not interested. But I was like, think about it, Sean. You could have like access to the entire collection.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Who is this?
Okay.
Drama.
Yeah.
Wait, who is it?
Sean would have married into comic book royalty. Let's say if Sean never drew a comic book again for the rest of his life, he would still be, he would still take to his grave the comic book royalty status.
Man,
yeah, this guy's big too. I mean, this is like he's like Mobius big type of thing, Barry Windsor Smith level big.
Yeah, he was a revolutionary industry icon. Not even an icon. I mean, he was just, yeah.
So why weren't you interested?
I think Sean was dating another girl at the time, and
So
so
Plus, I would have done it just for access to the flat files and stuff.
right.
And for the original art inventory.
I've dated people for the experience before, so
Uh-huh. Let's well,
you
who
don't gotta
was
like them that much. You gotta just enjoy your time with them.
look, just whenever they build a time machine, let's go back and explore this timeline, right?
Okay.
I can see Sean now at these conventions, you know.
Bernard, if that would have happened, he wouldn't be here right now
Right. Well,
complaining.
Our guest is
what
Frank
people
Frazetta's
think
daughter.
about-
Was not Frank Frazetta's daughter. Oh, Frank Frazetta's daughter is really pretty.
yeah. I mean, some of these things, like you think about it when you go along life, go along the path of life. Sometimes there's exit ramps, right? Off ramps. You take, but sometimes you just stay on the highway. You're like, no, I'm gonna keep driving. I don't need to get gas right now. I'm fine.
Speaking of gas, what was that last thing you posted on your Instagram Reels where you were wearing a helmet? You looked like you were a little mentally defective, and then
Was that you or your
farted.
girlfriend? That's all I want to know.
That was me.
Oh, okay. I was
But
gonna
were
be-
you wearing the helmet for your own safety? Like, like those, sometimes like there's that kid in school who wears a helmet because his cranium didn't
Right.
didn't fuse
Yeah,
together
my
properly.
cranium. No. It was no, we were just riding a moped. She was giving me a ride on her moped.
Oh, yeah. Was it
Mopeds.
powered by fart?
No, but the moped, is like kind of bumpy, so I definitely got a little bit of like a massage of my intestines. And then when we got off the moped, I was like, oh, I'm ready. Cooked up something real good from this ride. It was
sound like a new diaper, maybe.
it was
when
a
you
long
did that,
one.
How come she didn't say like, that's it, I'm out? Like, I mean, you can just do that in front of. I mean, you're not even married to her yet, so like,
Yeah.
don't you want to save that until after you lock them in?
She found it funny.
Just be upfront about who you are
Right.
with a person.
She's got to accept me for who I am, and that's just who I
Yeah.
am. I mean, if I kept it, Sean, if I kept it in, I would have like explode before we got married.
Yes.
I would be
Yeah,
like
that was
so
3 years
so
worth
yeah.
day
I would be
after
like
you get married.
I would be like so anxious if you came up to me from behind me and tapped me on the shoulder. I would just like explode.
He's to shoot off into space.
Right. So, I mean, Fanny Crusher deleted a message. What did it say?
Did somebody delete it for them?
Oh, did Yojimbo? Oh,
Maybe.
Yojimbo banned. Oof, look at that. Well, yeah, we might have to delete the stream. They were
Why is
selling.
that?
Oh, they were selling
We talk
followers.
about farts all the time. Why would we need to delete
Yeah.
this?
The thing is, like, man, I've been getting like a lot of farts lately.
Well, you eat that Taiwanese food.
Yeah, and it's really humid. I wonder if the humidity has anything to do with it.
Maybe you should go to the doctor.
See you, Carl. Carl is leaving.
All right, Carl. When is the Justin Jordan Kickstarter
Yeah, I don't
jumping?
even know. It's probably pretty soon.
Well, so is that? Oh, I forgot to ask Carl. So, this 24/7. Are you guys just like an imprint, or is there a master universe? Like, did you guys come up with a Bible? Like,
Maybe like a shared. It's not a shared universe. I mean, I think
Yeah.
all things considered, if you start a company, the shared universe is the way to go. But you do sacrifice a lot because all those creators go there with some book or story in mind, and their freedom is kind of hampered by it.
Well, you could still. It's so early on that you could still like everything could still be part of the shared universe. You know, it's the ones that come in later that have to figure out how it fits in.
That's true.
But you guys are so early on then. This Kinnokuman. Let me see. I don't have the.
Is that what you're drawing?
Huh?
Kino.
I think it's. Is that
Are
how?
you drawing?
Yeah. Is that the name? Is that the guy's name?
But isn't that for a couple weeks ago?
Yeah. A little. Little behind. Little behind. What is this? Okay, all right. Kinnokuman. Oh, here. Oh, I got another one brewing right now.
What'd you have for dinner?
Well, it's breakfast right now.
Oh, that's right.
I've been actually. I've been.
This much gas.
Huh?
Like it's not. This isn't unusual.
No, I've been eating a lot of fruits, like with a lot of fiber.
That'll do it.
There's a fruit out here called a wax apple. You can see this. This is a wax apple.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
This is in half, right?
Oh,
And
Oh,
it's like the inside is. How do I explain
oh, yeah.
it's
Those are
not
weird.
just for display only. You know.
it? No, it's well, this one, it's cut because it's kind of slightly shaven, so it's like red, right? And it's kind of smooth on the outside, and then on the inside it's like kind of fibrous. So I'm getting a lot of fiber, and it's not very sweet. It's like very subtle sweet, which is like the best, right?
Yeah, that looks like fart fuel to me.
So yeah, so I've just been eating because you can't get that in the States, really. It has to grow in like tropical climates, so you can't get it in LA. I found the place in San Diego that has it, but I'm not driving 2 hours to get, like a bushel of this stuff. And then yeah, so I just eat that like constantly, and I guess that's what's giving me the farts.
I don't know. I feel like you still have a lot of farts, regardless.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's just helping.
Gives you the farts.
So the Kinnokuman dude looks like he's in a. He's just in underwear.
We're like wrestling wrestlers.
Wrestling
anymore?
tights. Yeah. So what is this thing with Tom Taylor? I saw that somebody was burning his picture. What did he do?
Yeah, I don't. Everyone's talking about it. I still don't get why. Because basically, it's his people that are doing that.
His people,
Right?
his
I mean,
fans.
In terms of the political thing, he's very left leaning, and isn't it the left that's doing it? I mean, it's not
Is
like
it?
Comicsgate that's burning pictures. So
Who's burning the
Wait,
pictures?
so can someone break it down for me?
Well, because he's
Yeah,
writing.
I mean,
He's
like,
writing.
In a certain way.
He's writing
someone have to come
Nightwing.
on to explain to us.
Yeah.
So Kinnokuman also has this Homer Simpson mouth. It looks like he just has some shorts. Does Yojimbo know what's happening with? There's all this drama. You know what's also good about being here in Taiwan is like, I don't get the news in the U.S. So, I do, but I get it after the fact. Because what's day is night, what's night is day. So, right now I'm catching up on news, but it's not happening like live. So, and he has something on his forehead, like a word. It's like meat or something.
I've never seen this character in my life.
Meat.
Is it meat?
It's like an old character. Yeah, it's meat. Isn't it the same in like Chinese too? I think it is.
Yeah, Japanese written language is taken from Chinese.
It's the same kanji.
Yes.
Niku.
So, is it his fans are burning his picture? Did we get? I don't have the chat up, so I can't see.
Nobody's given us anything.
Oh, hey, what's up,
Useless.
UJ? Oh,
So wait, so did he write something a certain way, or
did he write a character out or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't.
didn't they do something like with Nightwing, which was kind of like kind of bisexual or something in the past, or anyways? I'm trying to think what.
He did something with Nightwing. He's been writing Nightwing, him and Bruno Redondo.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it. Tom
Taylor.
Taylor.
Anyways,
Oh, he's Australian.
I did go to a.
I think
Huh?
People are most what they wonder about this Tom Taylor story is like so someone burned a picture of Tom Taylor,
Yeah.
kind of like burning an effigy,
Right.
and then people are wondering like who has this kind of like 9x12, 8x12 headshot of Tom Taylor?
Yeah.
Like, where did you get that?
Did he get it at a signing? Did he print it out just to burn it? UJ, did you end up going to the comic book convention in Taipei? UJ is here in Taiwan. And then UJ, I think they just announced that there's going to be a new Top Cow contest. So the guys that are anyone that's watching the stream, I think Top Cow just announced they're going to have another talent search coming up. So
I can't find anything on Google about this dude.
Yeah, if it's comic book news, it's such a small time thing.
Well, usually it'd come up with some sort of even comic book like blog post or something like that.
Okay, so we're gonna go through this. I guess we're gonna go through this computer coloring thing today. I figure this will be a nice little tutorial about the basic steps.
This thing?
Yeah, basic steps that I go through.
Oh, good. Everyone needs to do that.
Yeah, I see. Like Courtney been putting up these like finished drawings that are colored and everything.
Some are kind of old.
Oh, okay. They look like they're really finished though. Like they're like print ready or something.
Well, I try to. I think in the past, when I was a lot younger, I would leave so many things unfinished that I try to at least finish it. Well, I think that was a really bad habit of mine, because it's like I'm not going to do anything, you know. It's like having artwork that you're like, well, I'm not going to do anything with this, and at that time, nobody's going to see it. So
It's a very common thing. Everyone
yeah.
does that. Well, like 80% of the drawing is fun, and then 10% of it is just a really difficult slog, and then the last 10% is too hard to figure out. So rarely do you have the energy to get all the way through to a finished drawing, unless you have to. You're getting paid for it, or there's a deadline. That's
true. I agree. And at first, I'm always like, oh, I'm just gonna make this quick. It's not gonna take me long. And then I start doing it, and then I'm a couple hours in, and I was like, this is not supposed to be a couple hours. and then I, stop and then do other things in life, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably finish that. And then I go back, and I'm like, I don't even remember what I was working on in this part. So then even getting started again is such a pain. So I'm trying to finish this other old one that I did when the last season of Loki came out, and I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't want to, but I guess I will. I'm almost done. I don't know. That's why I want to learn the quick and easy way, or quicker and easier.
Your Jimbo found something?
Oh. He posted the story of the Bleeding Cool story.
Oh. What was the Bleeding Cool story?
I don't know. I don't think I have the energy to or the interest level to read about it.
Tom Taylor images burned online over Nightwing and Batgirl.
Yeah.
Tom Taylor writes Nightwing and Titans for DC right now, which means Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon, and some people will never be happy. I don't know, what does that even mean? Tom Taylor writes blah 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 blah. Is it because they're those what? The comic is a massive love letter to Dick Grayson, and for that matter, Barbara Gordon too. This, I don't know, maybe I just don't know the lore behind these characters.
Well, it's a Bleeding Cool article, so I mean, it's probably illegible anyway.
It is kind of illegible.
Woof. Woof.
Bury the lead.
Like, I'm trying to break it down. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting really nothing, but maybe I just don't know. Like, you think it would just be like, I'm burning it because this guy said something racist or something.
Is it that the character was gay and then he's ungaying him? Is that why? I mean, that's why I would think that
people would be mad about that.
I think he was straight, right? And then he made him kind of bisexual.
Right. So then what happened? Then he made him unbisexual or something?
Oh.
Gave him a girlfriend.
Bisexual usually means you date boys and girls.
Yeah.
And both, so that would make,
Well, when I drew,
you unbisexual.
I mean,
You just bisexual.
I drew Nightwing for a few issues, and there was who wrote it? Sam Wallace wrote it, and I think we were always flirting because there were some scenes where he became like a male stripper. He was like a CrossFit coach, and then he was a male stripper.
Sam Humphries?
Wallace.
Sam Humphries.
Sam Humphries? Sam Humphries. What did I say? Wallace?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know.
Hey, I remember you did a picture with him with like dollar bills in his.
Yeah, he was like
I remember that.
he was like a stripper for to sneak into a building. He became like a stripper for this bachelorette party.
I've done that before.
But there were scenes in there too, like early on in the series, he comes home from a night fighting bad guys, and he's all bruised and sore, and I had like a nice naked shot of him about to soak into an ice tub thing. So, anyways, this is the I'm doing a base color, kind of just filling whatever is what. Does he have just white shorts? This guy, Kinnokuman? I'm going to make it kind of gray, just to give it a little bit of...
Wait, did you just drop it in? I was reading that terrible article.
He colors it by hand.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, he colors by hand?
Yeah, it's so strange. You don't just lasso and dump.
Well, there's no lasso in Procreate.
Procreate's kind of shitty.
Yeah. There's no...
And if you have any type of gap, or even if you don't even have a gap, you'll fill the page with like a color. It's really obnoxious.
I thought he had... Does he have red boots? Anybody can tell me if he has red boots?
I think you should make
he has red boots
whichever
now.
boots you think is nice.
Isn't it just kind of different from the way you used to color? Didn't you used to do like a gray wash on everything? Like you would put a flat gray tone in there, and then you put a multiply layer with a softer brush, and then you would put in the shadows.
Yes. Yeah. So
the color didn't come in until the end.
Yeah. So this one, Sean's right. I mean, I would.
Or you would do that for a comic book because the colorist picks the colors, but you can pick the values.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's say this is I'm doing the whole piece here, but let's say if this was the drawing, and make it kind of like rough with this. go. It's jumping off of the top rope.
You're giving the people's elbow?
Yeah, something. I probably should do some reference for the rope. I think in wrestling there's only like 3.
So we've been asking all these questions about his boots colors, and then you decide that you need a reference for the rope.
Yeah. Because I want it to be at least authentic. So when you look at it, nothing registers off. There's a little. The wrestling ring is different than the boxing ring. At least that's in my memory. Okay, so if this was a line drawing, what I would do if I had a colorist, if I had a new colorist, I would go in with a shadow layer, and you probably use black, but then just make the layer like 50%, and I would also make it multiply.
We can't see the right side of the screen on the...
Okay, well, make it multiply. And then I just choose a brush and I go in. Let me see. So if I'm envisioning the light behind him.
Bernard, I can't see what you're doing.
What are you doing? What am I doing?
I can't see what you just did on the far right side of the screen.
His toolbar and menu bar.
I created a layer. Can you see this now?
Can
you see these layers?
Did you?
I create a new layer. All right.
Sorry.
Create a new layer.
Got it.
I make it multiply.
Oh, I never used the multiply.
And 50%. And I'll probably knock it down to 35.
Oh, for opacity. Okay,
opacity. So that's a personal preference. And I'm just using black. Now, typically, you can probably use like a brown. I'll use a brown. Let me use a brown. Right? Because nothing is ever really like black or white. And I'm just going to go in. And usually, I'll have this fade brush that I created, which I don't really like. But I have a fade brush in Photoshop that I like using. So... And then I'll come in and I'll just kind of create the shadows.
So you do that when you don't have it, the color on?
Without the color on right now. This is as if I'm working comic books and I'm working with a colorist.
Oh.
So I'm just turning in.
I mean, yeah, you would hurt the colorist's feelings if you put the colors in there. But at the very least, you're doing the values.
Yeah.
And then, so that, because that's technically part of the drawing. And then the colorist still gets butthurt because, that's my thing that I'm supposed to do. But then you got to tell them, but then if you really could do it, you'd actually be a penciler for us. But so let me do this for you, and you shut up, and then just pick what color pants he's wearing.
Yes.
And I'll handle the shading. You just determine whether it's red or green. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of times, again, if I'm working with a new color, someone that I've never worked with before, my artwork is very open. I don't have a lot of hatching. So it relies heavily on the colorist and to kind of sculpt the figures. And there was a couple instances where I've worked with new guys that I've never worked with before, and I'll do this layer of extra work. And this is another hour or so of extra work on my part that I'm technically not getting paid for. And I've had colorists come back and they just completely ignore this layer. And then they just color it on their own. And they're also very, they're time constraint. There's a definite time constraint on their part. Colorists are doing like 2, 3, 4 pages a day, whereas it takes almost an entire day to pencil a page. And that's more of the economics of the thing, right? They have to in order to make, they're only getting paid a fraction of what a penciler would get paid. So they have to pump out X amount of work. A colorist colors maybe like 3 or 4 books a month. So you figure like 5 days a week, you're doing like 3 to 4 pages. If you did 3 pages in a week, that's only 15. If you did 4 pages in a day times 5, that's like 20. So, anyways. And the flats generally is going to another person. Someone else is doing the flats. So.
In Korea, mostly.
Korea, Brazil, Indonesia. They're getting paid like, what are they getting paid? Like $5, $7, $8 a page to flat?
I think 7.
7? It's not a lot of money. So this portion, right, to me is, it's fun. I'm sculpting a little bit.
Yeah, it's part of the drawing process. This is not like really choosing colors.
Yeah, I'm not very good at choosing colors, I'll admit. So.
It is pretty hard. I've been trying to be better about it, but going to those bright primaries, I'm just like, oh God, it looks like just the coloring's like blue, red, yellow. It's always too bright, not like more realistic. So that looks like a good realistic, like shadow color.
Yeah, I mean, if what you do is, because it's multiplied, right? Ultimately, if we pull back, I'm gonna put the base layer first. If you guys can see this, I usually call this the base color.
So the shadow color you just put down is tinted by the flesh tone. So
yeah,
it changes it to marry it to the flesh tone, and then it looks pretty cool. That was all very fast.
Right. So it's coming together kind of quickly now. Again, I don't really like these brushes so much, and I might come in and on this. Now, when you're using multiply, whatever is dark, black gets blended in, and the whiter colors, the lighter colors, get knocked out, right? So it's only the concentration of whatever. So right now I'm using a white brush. You guys can see I'm using a white brush, and then I'm on the shadow layer, and I'm just kind of going in like cleaning it out a little bit, so it's not
so like erasing away, or
erasing a little bit away
and putting the fades in there, gradations.
Yeah, a little bit. Now there are colorists that use the lasso when they do a gradation. I prefer doing it this way because it's not so calculated, right? I can be a little bit more drawing or illustrative in how I choose. Now this is the light that's coming from the bottom, hitting the guy up top. And then I can always go back in and just punch up some stuff. So there's a little bit more of like a additive, subtractive if I want it to be a little bit more illustrative. I don't really, there are guys that do a lot of the lasso stuff. I'm not a huge fan of that because it's just a color by numbers kind of thing to me, where it's step 1, step 2, step 3. I do like having a lot of these. Sometimes I'll knock this down. A lot of these kind of secondary, like sculpting things where you get a little bit of like happy accidents. If that makes any sense.
I think it makes it more natural. I have a problem with that. Not letting happy accidents happen. Trying to make it too structural and not making it like a kind of like a random curve or something that looks like you mentioned a happy accident.
And
I never used the lasso though.
yeah, I mean, lasso was big in the early days of computer coloring with studios like Liquid. They used to do a lot of lasso stuff. But I just find that I enjoy this process a little bit more. It's a little bit more like drawing to me.
Yeah, this is an artistic process, and the other one's more like a mechanical process.
Yeah. And I can go in and I can punch up certain areas. Again, now I'm creating a little bit more depth in the forearm, right? That I wasn't able to do if I'm doing. Now the lasso thing, though, also deselect. But I do like this process a little bit. Now it takes a little bit longer. So this is where the financial aspect comes in. How much time do you have to do this versus other things you want to do in your life? Feed the kids, walk the dog, spend some time with the missus.
So this level of detail with coloring, there is a school of thought that says you can just pretty much dump a flat flesh tone in there, and that'll work. So this figure is getting a more detailed treatment because what is it, like a splash? Like that figure is like the only figure on the page?
Yeah.
So yeah, you would need to have more detail in it.
If it was a really small panel, then yeah, I'm not doing all this stuff. But this is a full-page splash, kind of, right? This is going to be something that's... Here I'm adding more details into the leg. I'm carving out...
In the comic book, there's so much stuff going on sometimes. So when you add color, it's even more complexity. So there's a chance to make things even more complex or to simplify things. So it's a good way to order like a hierarchy of leading your eye around and not blowing out your retina with too much stuff where you get about 2 feet away from the page and everything looks like mud. So sometimes you use the color to help things along by just like you need a figure here that's just flat colors, because anything more than that, it starts to really look overworked and the page starts to get kind of tire out your retinas, and it's not welcoming to a reader.
Here is so usually like okay, here's another thing. In Photoshop, because this is Procreate, right? The line art you see is just black and transparent, right? Because the white paper is on a separate layer. So in Procreate, I don't know how this works, but there's no magic lasso, so I can't just select and then paste inside. I actually gotta go in. If somebody knows of another step, but I gotta go in and I gotta turn the background. So I turn the background layer into like a beige or something, and then I create a layer underneath the line art layer, and I'll go in and I'll paint this white, so it becomes this actually takes a little bit of time, but it saves more time in the long run.
Oh yeah.
It's just like separating objects from the background.
Yeah.
So it becomes selectable with one click.
Right. So, and I can create a mask, so it takes a little bit of time to do, but at the end of the day, you'll save more time later on. Let me use a different brush. When you're making revisions and such. So probably should have done this earlier. I don't have to go underneath the black line. I can just get up to it because I'm going to eventually marry the black line art with this white layer, and I'm going to use this to create a clipping mask. I usually do this in Photoshop with it's just again magic lasso around the guy. I'll decrease the selected by 1 pixel, the selected area by 1 pixel, and then I'll go in and then I'll merge those 2 layers together. I just don't think there's a magic lasso tool in this Procreate, which is a pain in the ass. And also when you resize in Procreate, it pixelates a lot. Even though I'm using the bicubic setting, it still pixelates much more than what I would like. So basically, what I have.
That's the worst problem about Procreate is that like any movement, it just blows out any sharpness, and you're just not gonna get it back. I've had to actually reline, art that way because I end up kind of making those edits, and I was like, fuck, I gotta start all over again, basically. Yeah. It's really annoying.
So here, again, you can see I have the layer behind it is white. I have a layer on top, which is inked. And then I'm just going to merge the two, merge down. So now, our Kinnokuman is on. And then what I'll do is just reselect this as white. Okay. So now when I do this, what I'll do is the base layer, right? The base color layer, clipping mask. So it's beholden to the line art layer underneath, because let's say I take a red, unless I want to, whoops. I can color, see how I'm coloring out, my brush is going outside of his body, but I'm not coloring any of it. I'm only coloring because it's a clipping mask. You guys see that? And then everything, all these layers are clip masked to this initial line art layer or figure. I usually call it line. And then now I'm going to create between the line art. I usually call it line art.
You can alpha lock it too.
Oh yeah?
If you want to, yeah, like that.
So now I'm going to do color hold. So this is fairly easy. I mean, there's other ways of doing it, but between the line art and the base layer, I'll create a new layer. I'll name that hold. Line hold. And then I'll create the setting to screen. Now screen is the opposite of multiply. Those are really the only two. I mean, I use other other layer options, but multiply and screen are the two main ones that I use. And again, multiply is the darkness gets blended in, whatever dark colors gets blended in. Screen is whatever light colors get blended in, and dark colors become like a eraser. So if I were to use this, and let's say now what I want to make this drawing a little bit more illustrative. So I'm going to make it more like an animated cell. Now I'm going to go in, you guys can see, with a brown color, and I'm going to color all the line art. Basically just drawing right over the line art.
You can alpha lock your line art too and do it that way.
On Procreate?
At least that's how I did it, yeah.
What's alpha lock?
It's in the same area. So if you go back to your
okay, let me finish doing this real quick.
Oh yeah, no problem. So basically, you can erase anything in it, but you can't add to it. So,
because sometimes I like doing this because let's say the shorts, I'll choose another color for the shorts. I'll choose like a blue-gray. And then I'll create a different line art color for the shorts, the line hold. Now again, this is
color hold every single line you drew.
Yeah, almost. Unless it's specifically black. Now you can see like there's little holes here, right? That means in the line art layer, there are some areas that are not fully complete, or that could be the base color. Oops.
So you don't use that thing sparingly. It's all over.
Yeah.
I've seen some people use it just for the facial features, like the eyes, nose, and mouth.
Mm-hmm. Marcello does a lot of that on the eyes, on the face. It softens up the face a lot. But I'm using it for the full figure. I'm gonna give it like a little bit more of an animated look. Right. What else? What else? Now we want to go back. Okay, so hold on. So all right, if I create a new layer here, what is the alpha layer? What am I doing? Alpha lock?
So, just how about you just duplicate your line art again?
Okay.
Oh wait. Sorry. Yeah, just make a duplicate layer of your line art and kind of turn off the bottom one, I guess. Sorry, it's really hard to see on my, like, when I'm looking at it, so I think you and then alpha lock your line art.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. And then what?
Then tap it and it'll give alpha lock right there. Mm-hmm. And then so you can, it looks like you have the white in there, so it will affect the white.
Oh, also okay, you got to do this without the white then.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry, it's hard for me to see on my little computer. Yeah, I guess that's true. So I usually have my line art separate, but it will, like, you won't be able to, you can color anytime anything in, like, on it, and it won't go outside any of your, so if you want to, you can alpha lock your shadows, and you can kind of do the same thing, kind of like an airbrushing. So, that's better. So any of those you can, and then you can kind of, swipe over them and do different colors.
So alpha lock means that you're only working on that layer?
It's only going to be, it's only going to affect that, whatever colors, on that. So it's good for, like, adding even different colors or kind of all sorts of other things. So
okay, so that's cool. I think I'm gonna maybe try that next time.
It kind of makes it easier, I think. I don't know, maybe it's just as easy.
You guys can see I'm adding a little bit more.
What's all that blue coming in?
So I'm adding some more blue in here, right? Just to kind of, I'm playing with it. This is right now normal. If I turn it to screen or color dodge, it's going to create a little bit of a different, if I'm using multiply or darken, sometimes you use darken, right? But, because let's say I want, in this background, I want to be,
do you ever use the, what is that? It's in the left corner for, like, color adjustments. Mm-hmm. That kind of.
What the hell is that? With the Jerry Garcia brush?
This is a luminance brush in Procreate. And I use this a lot to create, like, this is like a cloud. So I really like this brush a lot to create like a little mist effect.
I have some neon brushes that kind of do some cool stuff like that. Oh, James Quo's on, and Crispy Papa's on.
Oh, what's up, gentlemen? So I'm just quickly
and Jeremy Joe. Was Jeremy Joe on before?
Huh?
Is that the airbrush?
This is an airbrush. I'm using a blue airbrush. I'm kind of quickly...
I think it's worth pointing out how little, or there was no airbrush in the figure. I think one of the things that beginners do, because they see that real life and paintings have like a gradation, they immediately reach for the airbrush.
Yeah.
That's true. A lot of my old art, when I tried it, I just went straight to airbrush. I'm like, oh, this looks so airbrushed.
So, I mean, and you can kind of do the same thing. Like sometimes with the background, I'll do the same thing I'm doing with the figure. So I have multiple layers of background. So I'm layering it. And then again, using the different layer options. If I use multiply, multiply, I can kind of tone it down a little bit if I want. Let me see if they have Procreate does have some cool like brushes.
So many special effects going on in this piece.
Yeah. There's a lot of icing. A lot of icing on this cake. This is what this really is. A lot of icing.
Yeah. Oh my god. You don't have to do that much drawing. Just the figure, and then the rest of it is like
yeah, can you guys see this?
Special effects.
It's a little blurry. I still haven't been able to figure out how to get the auto blur, auto adjust off of it. So I can go in now. I don't want it to be as literal as that. Let's do a motion blur or perspective blur.
What is that kind of spaghetti pattern?
Yeah.
Spaghetti pattern.
Now look at this. I'm doing a quick blur, and I'm pulling and dragging.
Radial blur?
Yeah, like a radial. This is a perspective blur.
Oh.
Your phone's out of focus, so we can't see.
Oh, it's like a motion blur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it gets rid of the spaghetti.
Right. But the textural, you still get a little bit of the textural component of it, but now it looks like speed lines, almost.
I'm gonna try that.
And it's organic.
Okay, so the spaghetti is there to create speed lines.
Yeah.
With the blur.
Right?
Nice.
Oh, that's some wizardry. I don't know any of that stuff.
Yeah, probably because you actually work really hard on all the background, Sean. We can't all be overachievers like you.
Well, I only have like 20 minutes left to finish this. So you can flip stuff around. Look, again, I'm flipping layers around, trying to get different effects. This one, let me clear this layer. And kind of have some more components back here. Let's see if it does help. Nope. And a lot of times I just kind of go through the different layer options to see what might be interesting.
Why can I see the little like movie bubble things when you draw on there? Does that make sense?
No? What movie bubble things?
Like when you just does it do it with all of them? Maybe it just does it with certain.
You mean
certain-
the
Looks like an
replay?
electric lasso,
Yeah.
a
Like,
lightning lasso. That's bizarre.
yeah, that. I don't have that.
That's some Harry Potter shit you have there. That's the Expecto Patrona brush.
I don't have that. What is that?
You have to get it from Doctor Strange.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
apparently.
You mean when I export it as a movie, like I did with the Dead X-Men page?
No. Like the actual. You see how you're drawing on it, and you're getting those little, like, electric movie thingies. I don't know how to describe it.
Well,
Sean, you know what I'm talking about. What is that?
Your cursor is alive. It's like,
Yeah, a live cursor.
I think
Which
you're
is
just
doing the little. It doesn't do that normally.
no. It's just the
I guess it's just like a brush you pick, right?
yeah. It's the brush.
The brush. Oh, you must have like something turned on that like makes it do that because.
Oh, you mean to see the cursor on the actual screen?
Yeah, I don't have that.
Oh, I think it's an option that you can choose in the settings.
Ah. I don't know. I think that would drive me crazy, probably.
Sort of like a randomizer.
Mm.
Now you can also do this other thing where on the canvas, let's create a drawing guide. Let's create a guide. Let's do a perspective. And then let me create another one. Lock this drawing assist. I like to use this organic twig.
Drawing assist. That sounds like cheating.
Yeah, you're cheating.
Well, why isn't doing it? Drawing guide perspective.
Can you do like that Pepe Larraz lens flare where it comes like through his body and then obscures some of his eye or something like that, or like light wraps around?
Yeah, let me.
I've never used this before. That's interesting.
So here.
Yeah, what is this thing?
So now I've created a perspective grid, and this layer. Here, I'll show you guys. It'll be easier to see without all this stuff. Using the twig brush. Oops. Twig brush. And it's now conforming. Oops. It's assisted, so it's now conforming to the perspective lines. See how?
Oh, so you're making speed lines.
Yeah, I'm making speed
or
lines.
energy lines.
Yeah.
Yo, Jimbo says next he's going to be using AI to draw his pages like that guy at DC.
Well, this isn't really my arm. This is a robot arm. So
Chris Dupop asks if you were still using the paper like screen protector.
it is, but it's pretty much smoothed out already. So
Does it give like a? I tried one before, but I think I tried a cheap one from Amazon, and it kind of changed the colors. They weren't really true to screen when I had on, and then it kind of made everything darker and blurrier. So,
oh really?
Maybe I have to get like a really good quality one.
It does make it a little bit darker. But I'm drawing so much that it only lasts like a few weeks to a month, and then it gets all smoothed out. You can actually see if you put a glare on the on the screen, you can tell which
When are you
areas
guys
I
going
draw.
to Morocco, by the way? Is that coming up?
May.
Yeah, next month. Yeah.
Ooh.
So
I'm gonna head to Vegas, I think in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna be there for my girlfriend's baby shower. So I will miss if you do anything on Tuesday.
Next week?
2 weeks from now.
Oh,
I'm gonna just stream from Vegas so we can get a real show.
yeah.
She's very pregnant, so I don't think you're gonna want to see that.
Oh, you're not pregnant though.
That's true. It's funny. She's like, I don't feel that good, but we can still go out. I was like, what?
So what is the Pepe Larraz thing? You're talking about? He would have like a little glare from here, right?
Yeah, you see that little hole, the donut hole above his right eye? And it's like that space that between the fin and the arm and the hand. There's like a little square shape there. So if light comes through there, like if the light source is there, then it kind of overtakes his face a little bit, and his, his shoulder, his bicep kind of. So it looks like light is just like a glare is coming through.
All right, let me do that. So what I did here is I created another layer on top of everything, on top of the background and on top of the figure. And I'm just gonna go.
And is that like a screen that you have to do?
Well, it's just a layer.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's kind of scary because you start to obliterate the face and stuff.
Well, so here's the beauty of it. It's on a layer. It's on a separate layer. So if I don't like it, I take it off.
And to make it more opaque.
I can also I can change the opacity.
Opacity.
Right. So let's bring it down to 60. I can if I don't like it, clear, start over again. Right? And I can even let's do the perspective irrespective of the musculature. And then going back in, I'll create a mask. And let me take off the assist. The assist tethers you to the.
I noticed that it does tether you to the perspective grid, but not completely.
Not completely.
If you really go off,
yeah,
it does draw sideways sometimes.
You can go a little bit off of it. So here I am cleaning it up a little bit. Go in and make this super bright. If I want to go in with a airbrush.
It's like the movie's called The God's Elbow.
Is it?
Oh, I mean, the way he's drawing it, it looks like it's coming down from the heavens.
Mm.
All right. All right, let's put everything back in. It's all on layers. What else can we do though? I can add some highlights. Let me add some highlights.
He's not
This is so
glistening.
processed.
Huh?
It doesn't look like he's not glistening. He doesn't
He's all oiled up.
Sweat. Yeah.
Oh, well, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm adding a little bit of highlights. Again, this is tethered to the line art figure. I'm using it in screen format, but I can also use it some of these other ones. Color dodge. Color dodge has a higher threshold of interaction. Also, this folder I'm using the DPI is low res. This is only 800. This is only purely for posting on Instagram. So it's not. If I was to do this for print, I would have this at a higher DPI. So some of these pixelations that you're getting here on the neck, it would be smooth.
800 though. That's not super high.
800 DPI by 12 by something. So it's only the width of basically the size of the paper. I don't have it too high. If it was comic books paper size, it would be 4123 by, or 4125 by 6263. So that would be the traditional comic book print size.
That you would put at like, it would be like 600 DPI.
600, yeah, 600 DPI. So a file like this, you're looking at like a few hundred megabytes.
When we did Morocco last time, they would pick things off of my Instagram and blow it up to wall size for a presentation. I didn't know they were doing this, but they just kind of went through and picked out some of my artwork and off just from online.
Yeah. And
those resolutions are not that high.
Right.
But they use AI to kind of fill in everything. So they were able to, it almost looked like I was scanning at like 1200 DPI, even though I only scanned it at 400 DPI. So it's amazing what they can do now.
So Sean, you're admitting you use AI in your work now.
Someone use AI on it, yeah.
Yes, he does.
When are we going to see, is your Jimbo going to burn your picture now?
You know that button that thing that you hit, drawing assist? I have a button that's kind of like that. It's a menu option. It's called draw the damn thing for me. So just hit that.
I mean, again, that's that is the quintessential question, right? There's these tools that allow artists to draw without using a ruler, without hand-eye control, and then
it's good when you can be an old fart. You need that.
Yeah.
Like Charles Schultz. You know how toward the end, those Peanuts comics, you can tell like that guy's drawing and he has like Parkinson's. Like that line is so crazy shaky.
That's the scary part.
So technology comes to help us out and smooth things out.
I was always really bad at inking. Like I either pushed too hard, I could never get used to it. So digital is a lot easier for me. But it is like, something to have a good solid background on. I'm sure if I tried hard enough, I could have like really gotten used to it, but I just kind of gave it up just because it was so difficult. Especially working with like pen nibs and dipped ink and stuff like that.
That's that guy, Chris Stevens. I think people really like his commissions. He would ink with those repeatographs, and his hand would seize up because he's gripping that pen so tight because it's and it would take hours just to do like a face or something like that, and his hand would just be, he has to ice it down and
yeah, I would tear paper like sometimes immediately, and I'd be like, well, that's gone. It's really bad because to get a straight line, I'd press so hard, or even around a curve, I can never get used to it.
I mean, I do that too. Basically, everyone has a natural tremor, like as your heart beats and everything. When you draw a line, you get all those tremors in there, and then depending on your style, that could look really bad, or like Charles Schultz kind of made it work for him. Like he's kind of like tremor all over the place. But one way to get rid of it is you press down, then it kind of cancels all out because the pen is the point is digging into the paper. So when you shake left and right, it won't move the pen. But as a result, you have to pull so hard to get it in the direction you want to go. So all the micro tremors won't show up because it'll only show the big gross movements that you really have to fight through, and it can be physically exhausting.
Yeah.
Well,
I still even do that on my iPad. Like I press hard even when I really don't have to. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna break my screen. It's so terrible.
I do wonder if somebody's ever drawn so hard that they crack their iPad screen.
Yeah, it's happened.
I honestly could do it 'cause, like, literally my screen will end up changing color, kind of like a television when you would press a television.
You get this like little rainbow
Yeah.
psychedelic circles.
I'm like, shit, this is not good.
But in general, the more you draw, you develop a lighter touch after a while. Because that's really like in the warm up phase. Because I still press really, really hard, dig a gouge into the paper. But after a while, I think your muscles are just getting used to the movement, and once it does, then things lighten up and it gets better.
That's true. I should do like a warm up drawing before I really hit any ink.
Warm up drawing.
Yeah, the warm up sometimes is like 2 hours of drawing.
Yeah, just draw.
This doesn't sound fun anymore.
We don't get paid to warm up.
AI. It's gonna do AI. It's gonna try to be a Instagram or YouTube baddie.
Sean, you still have
I don't know.
Sean, you still have your headshot from Valiant? Send that to your Jimbo
Why?
so he can burn it.
We're gonna burn.
I don't.
Hey, you go viral. So they're gonna be like, "Why are they burning this guy?" It's like, I don't know what they're. He's talking shit about AI.
Every time I'm quickly scrolling through Instagram, and there'll be like these drawings that someone's been doing of like Storm and Rogue, and since AI does so many iterations, like it gives you so many variations. Like I would like every day post like 3 different pictures of Storm, and I've come to recognize it now. But before I could recognize it, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing! I don't like this." And after about like a couple weeks of doing it, I was like, "Wait a second, this guy is like so good. How come I never heard of him?" And then you look in the comments things, and then you find it's AI doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Well, I hate to like it, but it's really good." It's just I can't draw like that. Most people can't. It looks really good. I don't know if you can do it.
It's a mashup of professional artists' art, so it's. I mean, that's all it takes from. But yeah, I have seen some too where I'm like, oh, that's nice, and I was like, immediately. I mean, you kind of know almost immediately that it's AI, in my opinion. Still look good, but I'd be like, oh yeah, that's definitely AI.
Here's another color note, like depending on when we're using multiply or screen to create highlights or shadows. The color that you're using, like if I'm using blue to create a shadow, you see how it'll get a very kind of a cool effect. If we're looking at the pants here, you get a cool effect on the when it's hitting the base colors. Whereas if I'm as opposed to me using let's say
black.
Black, right? Take that out, and then
that's the hardest thing about coloring is coloring your shadows. Because I always think of shadow like you think you can get away with shadows just by mixing black into every color, and then instant shadow. But you can't do that, because if you do that, something just looks off. So the greatest thing about doing painting is that you have the option to color your shadows. But then what color do you make it? And then that's where I kind of dip out. I'm like, I'm not gonna color. It's too many choices. I'm not.
Yeah,
I do like
here I'm using a red or purple. Sorry, go.
Yeah, mauve purple is actually what I use, and for some reason that looks the most natural. I almost think, and I've noticed that for a lot of other artists, like a lot of their shadows have really good like sunlight shading or coloring, and then the shadows are kind of like a mauve purple or got the blue in it. I wonder why. I guess something natural.
Yeah. So when you're coloring, again, the color that you're using, because it's multiplying, it's impacting. It's basically you're creating. You're putting you're mixing the two colors. So this is where you need to be a little bit more careful in your selection.
Well, yeah, you're mixing. That's hot base, and then you're mixing a cool into it, and they're not putting the cool next to the hot. You're mixing it together. So when you mix the red and blue together, like, wouldn't that come out to be kind of like brownish?
Yeah, it is.
So I mean, it could. That's the thing, is that it's very easy to kill a drawing if you lose the purity of it. And I think everything I do when I color it, it starts to look overworked.
Yeah.
So I end up killing the drawing. So I stick to black and white. And with the watercolor, I just kind of use the colors kind of right out of the palette without mixing, and that kind of takes care of that. Hey, Jerry's here.
Jerry.
Oh, Mets game.
Is the Mets season over yet?
It just started, didn't it?
Oh, usually it's over by now.
I don't know. Baseball.
Padres is over.
You know, we had some visitors, like relatives from Taiwan, visit us, and I'm surprised, like, how many of them want to go see a Yankees game.
Oh, baseball is huge
That's
here.
like
Yeah.
I think Yankees is like one of the number one recognized logo in the world now.
Well, like, you know, people in the streets wear a Yankees cap out here. Yankees is super popular.
Yeah.
You know, Mets has a Taiwan Day. You know. Anything else you guys want me to see added to this? Let me go in. Maybe some shadows on the trunks. Now, if I were to use black, okay, this is where you would begin.
Boot highlights. Simple Man says. Yeah. Shiny boots.
Bernard, did you do your upper deck card set?
No,
due soon?
I haven't even gotten the cards.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah, mine is due soon, so I finished.
they haven't. I think we're doing a different set. So
Yeah, I'm doing the Spider-Man renditions set.
yeah. I'm not supposed to get my cards until May. So
Yeah, I kind of screwed it up already because I didn't know you can negotiate things. You got way more AP cards than I did. I didn't know you could negotiate. And then I didn't work on the cards for so long because of the soccer comic, so I finally got it out like a week ago to start doing the card set. So I grabbed the card and started doing it. And since this is the first one, I'm not going to draw Spider-Man. So I'm going to pick like a real B or D list character and just warm up on it. So I did Craven the Hunter.
mm-hmm.
And it turned out okay. I was like, all right, cool. Now that's one down. Now I got to do 19 more to go. And then I realized I drew on my AP card.
Oh,
So I actually have 20 more to go, and I lost an AP to a crappy Craven the Hunter. And
No.
we don't get paid much for this, so the APs are worth their weight in gold.
yeah.
I don't know how many APs you got, but I got 2, and I lost one by doing a sketch on it, basically.
Well,
So I basically have one AP card.
how do you know that it says AP on there, or how do you know it's an AP card?
It says AP on it.
Oh.
Like, that's why you have to be very careful. Don't draw on your AP card, because that's the one you want to draw Spider-Man on. Really, really good, and that'll sell for like $300 or $400.
Well, maybe there's a really generous Craven fan out there.
It's,
That's true. Maybe can you return it from you got be like, oh,
No.
I messed up on this. Like, can you give me a new one?
yeah, I want
I
to do
mean,
AP.
I don't see why not, as long as you're giving it back, right?
The AP also has to be approved, right, Sean? Or
Oh, does it?
yeah, you have to submit it for approval.
Oh, dang.
Like they get, because if you just sell it, like, well, what if you did like a nude Spider-Man, you know, as your AP, right? Or nude Mary Jane.
I'll take a nude
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
that's what I was going to do.
That's cool. There's Jerry. Jerry.
Hey, room for one more.
What's up, Jerry?
There's Mr. Baseball.
How's
I like the baseball game. You know, I was just telling Bernard that sometimes I have relatives come over. They'll be like young girls, and they want to see a Yankees game. And I'm wondering, like, do they really enjoy baseball, or is it like a tourist thing?
She wanted to get a hot dog and cotton candy because she felt like that was very America.
Yeah, so it's not about the baseball. I knew it.
Well, I mean, City Field in particular has some really good food, and I mean, you know, we went with my brother and his wife, so and, you know, we kind of got good seats, and we kind of get like some special treatment there, so it's pretty cool. So I think it's pretty easy to enjoy it, you know. But, this drawing is fantastical. It's only like 3 months late, but hey.
Hey, better late than never.
I never heard of this character.
What inspired to do this, Bernard?
Well, we needed something to do today.
I love this character. I love this whole the whole like lineup of characters. They're basically the Japanese wrestling version of Masters of the Universe.
Well, does he have like a arch nemesis or?
Yeah, he's got a few of them. You know, the sad thing is, so I've been, I guess I don't want to say reading, but I've been looking at the manga since I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
My friend who lived across the street from me, his grandmother would send them to him from Japan, and I would go to his house like 4 times a week, and I would just, they were in Japanese, so I couldn't read them, but I've just been addicted to looking at them and the character designs. And then they had those little pink like rubber toys that I used to steal them all the time from the store called 5 and 10. And I must have stolen like over 100 of those toys from them. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I had like almost every toy, and I just stole them all. I did not buy one of them.
Oh, kleptomaniac, jeez.
But like, so to this day, I've never actually read the comic. I was talking about this with Jerome and Andy the other day because on eBay, I bought some of the American versions of the manga, like just random books, like number 2, 5, 7, 12, and 15. And I got them for like $20 or something like that. And I've been meaning to read them. Like I got it during freaking COVID, like during the lockdown, and I just never read them. But they're literally right behind my drawing table where I'm sitting right now.
Well, Jerry, why don't you get the license? Make some
I would
prints.
love to. I freaking love these characters.
I think you could do it without getting the license. Just they won't
Yeah,
bug
you
you.
use it.
No, I mean, it's pretty big.
an old
They had a
IP.
cartoon series and everything, you know?
I know, but they don't.
Why don't you talk to Harry to get the
Fine.
license to do an official print?
I would
Yeah.
love to. But I'm going to be tied up. I'm waiting for a contract agreement in the next week or two. And I think I'm going to be tied up for like the next 2 years.
Nice.
Comics related?
Yeah. Like 2 to 6 years I could be tied up.
Wow.
Oh, big project. A major announcement coming soon.
Another
I don't know how
24/7?
major it's going to be, but you know.
Ace Pot B.
24/7.
I like the silhouette of those audience.
Yeah, so I'm doing this again. This is a brown. It's a brown color, but I'm gonna. It's their multiply, and actually, let me tone down like 55, 50. So
You got 14 layers? No more.
probably, yeah. I like to
Shit.
use a
Is
lot
that a
of.
lot? I usually get up into like the 40s,
Oh,
and I start
yeah.
merging
Like
them.
7 tops.
I have 4 layers at most.
No, at the end I'll consolidate some of them.
Yeah.
Like if I'm sending in the files, I'll consolidate them to reduce the size of the file. But the working files that I have, yeah, they're like 20, 30, multiple, different, a lot of different layers. I don't have.
Yeah.
Bernard, when are you going to do your own project, like pencil ink color?
Soon.
Yeah.
Because this whole I don't know what you want to call it, but when you do these drawings versus your finished comic stuff, I feel like it's a little bit more raw,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's more like dynamic. And
Well,
I kind of wish you could do a book in this style.
I'm having more fun. I mean, the Marvel stuff, Marvel DC stuff, you got to be very tight, right? It has to be
Yeah.
as a polished.
The looser stuff of yours, I feel like it's just got like so much more like life in it. Not that your other work doesn't have life, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but it's just like I don't know. It's got like edgier, you know.
I think it's more of a. It's definitely more of a desired look nowadays. I think that like a imperfection and not like the super solid lines which you find in like for Marvel and DC.
Well, even like a lot of Marvel and DC books now, some of the newer guys, their style is, Daniel Warren Johnson is like, the line art is a little bit looser than what we're kind of used to. What kind of stadiums would this guy fight in, Jerry? Do you remember?
They're pretty. It's like totally ridiculous. It can be anything. So they're typically wrestling rings, but they have like just think WrestleMania, like cage matches and all that stuff. So they do pretty over the top stuff. I mean, it's interesting to me because today I just read some Comixology wrestling comic, and then the whole Daniel Warren Johnson,
Yeah.
how he loves wrestling and the power bomb, which is very inspired from this guy.
Is it? Okay.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
great
you see the
book.
designs? I mean, first of all, the dual power bomb is freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But the designs are super inspired from Kinnikuman.
I did not know that. Actually, I don't even know this book, but
It's so awesome. Just look up Ultimate Muscle. That's like the chance you might get to read some in American.
Yeah, and have your safe search off Google when you're.
That cackle.
this move is called the God's Elbow.
The People's Oak? No.
But
This is the
I have
God's
like
Elbow.
illustration books. When I went to Tokyo, I would just buy a couple of illustration books of them. I've now got, I think, like 3 illustration books of this character and 4 mangas, and I've never read one word in the 40 years I've been sweating them.
Well,
You got to get the license. The license probably doesn't cost that much because he's not as well known as that Gotcha Man. So
Yeah.
it'll cost you $1.98.
Chump change.
Or just don't pay anything. You're used to stealing, so.
That's what I would do.
all right. I think we're done. What do you guys think?
I think this needs
It
to be
looks really good. Yeah.
What do you guys think? Should I hit anything
I think you
else?
should
Oh.
darken the floor mat a little bit because it's so white.
Okay.
But those
Let me move it
kids
up.
on it.
Let me move it up.
How's life in Asia, Bernard?
It's. I cannot complain. I think it's pretty amazing, man.
It's making it fart a lot. Those horrible wax apple farts.
I mean, that was a pretty wet fart you put on the internet.
That's not even. That's not even. I was
You're wearing a
contemplating it.
helmet.
I'm in the middle of like negotiating a deal, and I was thinking about, should I put this on my Instagram? Because I'm sure they're like looking at this my page. But it was.
Bernard, you're so interesting.
But
Sometimes you're like, can't talk about that. Other times you just fart, and put a post up.
Yeah, but like this morning I was looking at it and I was like, oh, it's so funny. I'm laughing at it every time. Do you guys laugh at it when you see it, or you get
I was
disgusted?
laughing my ass off.
We know you.
Right?
But definitely, like, if you were up for a job interview and they'll check your socials, this is like you could lose your job over something like that.
Do they really check?
Yeah, we know someone.
He's He's not.
We know
like,
people who lost a job because the person that represented in the interview doesn't match what they saw on their socials.
Do you? How? Was it a comic book job?
No, it was the law lawyer job.
Are you going to hang out with Fletcher in Taipei?
Yeah, he's coming out next week.
Oh man, so you're going to go like grab a drink with him?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome!
Why not?
I'm very jealous.
We gotta find. We're gonna have a boys' night out.
Man, I'm super jealous.
Come on out, man.
Those days are over. You're just like me.
You're gonna be like Sean.
Yes.
Come on out.
You're the first to leave the party.
Sean doesn't even tell people he leaves the party.
That's true. Like, is he okay? Is he throwing up in a corner
okay
somewhere? Not even there. He just left.
Oh,
He's
hey, Sean.
home.
You want to get lunch with me, Jerome, and Andy next week?
Oh, that sounds cool.
We do day drinking though, just to warn you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will leave early then.
It's day drinking, but then suddenly it's like 3 a.m, so just watch out.
It's heavy day drinking. We use lunch as an excuse to do heavy day drinking.
Damn, I would like to do that.
I'm going to the Ren Fair next week.
Oh, take some pictures. Are you going to dress like a wench?
I am going to be kind of wenchy. I'm going to be a wenchy gypsy person with jingly things that I got for $15 on Amazon. So
I know Symbol Man is with me on this one.
Oh, Yojimbo says the Kinnokuman has already been licensed in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, I have like I said, I have the U.S., the English manga, you know?
Oh.
I just haven't even cracked it open yet. Do you guys buy comics and like with the full intention of reading them, and then
yes.
4 years later you realize you never even opened them?
Of course not.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, let me
I pass it every day as well.
look at this comic
I
I got this
that.
weekend. Look at this comic I got this weekend. Let me move back. So there was like a little mocha. There was like a indie comic con here in Taipei this weekend.
Was it awesome?
It was okay. I mean, it was in a mall. It was in this older area where there used to be like a lot of old prostitutes. I didn't see any prostitutes, but
Old prostitutes.
yeah, but literally like old prostitutes. And then this was kind of interesting. I mean, the printing's pretty cool. You guys can see this.
I like the cats.
There's a lot of cats.
Oh, I like the cats.
Yeah, this girl's
Oh, that's cool.
Feng Ying, Fengyin. James Coy, I have not gone to the Taipei Dome yet, but my uncle lives right next to it.
Oh, hey, that's pretty well drawn.
Yeah, it's not bad. There are some things in it, but it's a story about a cat and a girl goes to work. But there's great use of background imagery. I really liked it. I thought that definitely these are all scenes from like either her life or her neighborhood. So let's stalk her and find
No dialogue.
No dialogue at all. I mean, that's how comics should be, right? You're looking at the purity of the.
Is this a horror? Is it like a Junji Ito type thing?
No,
It really reminds me of Taipei.
yeah, no, it's just very subtle.
It's slice of life.
You see all these wires, yeah. There's a lot of.
Which is something
cats.
that I wouldn't do in comics, like slice of life, because you have to really be larger than life in comics a lot of times.
This is probably my least favorite drawing in the entire.
The one on the right, right?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
But
Looks very
It's so
flat.
flat.
but then you get it like a shot like this. It's like wow, okay,
Yeah,
That's
nice.
interesting. Maybe they use models for it. It's very
No,
know.
I don't know, because I think like there are drawings like this where it's okay. This is a little bit the up 3/4 up shot again. One of the most difficult angles to draw. That in the
Wicked
face.
tangent there.
Yeah. So again, yeah. So there are like little things that, man, you know, if we could spend a little bit of time, you know, really close. But I mean, close in terms of what? I mean, you know, I'm just being nitpicky about stuff.
I love the street corner. That is fantastic.
Yeah, these are
And I love the cat on the
cat on the
Look at
roof.
bumps and all
Cat
that.
stretching. Or,
Yeah. There's a cat stretching down here. Yeah, I mean, this is Taipei. This is unmistakably Taipei. So, the tiles, all the details, and really, so it's, for me, it's like what I get a sense of, like, wow, I'm transported to this world. You know, the cat and the girl are really secondary to me. This feels like a story. This feels like, and this probably the next second least favorite drawing.
I like because she really experiments with kind of different visuals, and
the
every
layout.
page is very the layouts are very
Yeah, the
different.
cats like walking in the gutters and stuff like that of the panels. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool. Oh, the transparency is a cool idea.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
like
you know how
she
much
flips
she
the
was
page
selling
and the
this
cats
for?
disappear.
this was
$500.
Does it say?
$500.
Does it say?
No.
Oh. I'm trying to. I think it was like 120 or 200 NT. 200 NT is around $7, $6-7. So I think I like $5-6, you know, something like that. It might have been like 180. I don't remember.
$180.
Yeah. So this was. Let me show you another guy. This guy. I don't know if UJ still here. Is UJ still in the chat? This is UJ's buddy. This other guy. This one's a little bit more Western.
UJ is in the chat, by the way.
Okay. So this guy is UJ's buddy.
Oh,
No. Those colors.
does look very Western.
So this is black and
Very
white.
80s feel.
Yeah.
Has a little bit more Western manga, but has manga influences in it.
Wow.
And he did a
Quite
car
beautiful.
chase. Yeah. So a lot of speed lines. Very exciting. Like there's a lot of energy. Like this. Look at this panel here.
GTO.
This is cool as hell.
Is that a guy's hair?
Yeah, that's the guy's hair.
I love how wacky it is.
Yeah.
So much personality in this. It's awesome.
No, I think you would lose some points for that hair, though.
I love it.
Now you got the cars.
Comics need to be more like exaggerated.
So there's
Now they're in space.
now they're in space. Now they're in this cathedral.
It's GTO in space.
I want to buy this.
This one was 200, 400 for both. I got issue 1 and issue 2. I thought this was in English. I don't know why this is in Chinese. The car stuff is, you know, you get like little scenes like this, boom, where he's really designing, thinking about the world building. You know, he's not just drawing the figures.
How old was this guy?
This guy, he looked like he was in his.
This guy, sorry.
Well, UJ, I don't know, UJ, how old is this guy? He looked like he was in his 30s.
This is pretty young. Damn him!
They get a shot like this, like
Don't
boom.
be a hater.
So are those grays put in digitally?
The what?
He's almost
The
40.
gray tones.
Probably, yeah. I would think this is all digital.
Mm.
I would think this is all digital.
Oh, I hate to be scatterbrained all over the place, but Sean, didn't you do a Kickstarter chat like yesterday or something like that?
I did, yeah.
How'd it go?
Pretty good. It's me and Justin Jordan, but it was, Carl has his 24/7 podcast he does on YouTube. So sooner or later, all of you are going to show up on there. Courtney has been asked already.
Well,
So-
Carl's poaching from our stream. What's up with that?
Yes, I think he thinks you're co-host material there. So
UJ says he's almost
He
40.
hasn't heard.
So
Hey Bernard, you want to flash this guy's Instagram and name so everyone can see?
what is his Instagram? Is it on here? K something something. So the other girl was what was the other girl's Instagram? Fen Ying, but actually there's a S at the ends. So but Fen FENGYIN, and I think there's an S after that. What is this guy's Instagram? It's not
how
on
old
here.
is she?
Like there was shots like this where the car is like double
He's
page
so
spread.
good at this car chase stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were told not to do car chase, not to write car chases in comics because they don't work. It's a cinematic thing.
So you get this like perspective of the guy driving in here.
A lot of mangas are able to make it work. I've read mangas about music, and you think it wouldn't work. But yeah, there's some really good ones because you can't hear anything. But they still talk about it and show them playing. It's
Here-
very interesting how your mind fills in
Here's
kind
one.
of things that you don't have to listen to.
Here's one question though I do have is that the cars are obviously these are drawn with Japan in mind because the steering wheel is on the opposite side, right? Because I was thinking like I would probably have this back and forth, but
Right wheel drive.
yeah. So this is right wheel drive, right side, right wheel, whatever. But in Taiwan it's a left wheel. Taiwan's like America where you're driving on the driver's side is on the left side, and you're driving on the right side of the street. So it's interesting, I'm wondering if this was drawn initially right to left, and then repurposed left to right. Because there were like in this manga thing, some of them, and it was all indie comics. Although there were publishers there, there were comics that were right to left, traditional. Anyways, what is this guy's Shu Kai Xiang? If you guys can find his name. All right. Let's get out of here. I need to get back to work. Thank you guys for jumping in. Jerry, you got anything to add before we get out?
No, just wanted to say hi to everyone.
Courtney, anything you want to add?
24/7 comics.
24/7 Comics. Sean?
Yeah, 24/7 Comics with another Kickstarter coming up soon with Justin Jordan's book.
Yeah, if
Ghosts.
I see you drawing on a 24/7 live stream, I'm gonna be extremely pissed.
Oh, we're moving it. We're gonna hunt you down.
Uh,
Did you do that yesterday?
No, I didn't do any drawing.
Okay.
we should do a live stream where somebody Jerry, you want to dress up as Carl? I'll dress up as Justin, and then Courtney can dress up as the nerd
Just
Barbie.
cancel your stream.
Yeah.
Schedule stream like right next to, like at the same time as his, so you can just
Right, and you can Sean will be on both, right? And it'll be like that Seinfeld episode where they meet the doppelgangers.
Yeah.
You know?
the Bizarro.
Yeah.
The Bizarro 247, but it'd be like 742 comics.
Right. And then Yojimbo will be the moderator, but who's the Yojimbo moderator for the 24/7? That's curious.
Sarah is like what you call it? She's a cosplayer.
Right.
I'm going to jump off right now just because I think everyone can hear Ivy speaking. So I'll spare everyone of that.
It's
not bad.
It's not bad at all. But
You can't hear anything.
But happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
yeah, Jerry.
All right, let's see. There's this new stream manager. Let me see how I can. Oh, two people jumped off. How do I raid somebody? Which is the raid symbol? Which is? Oh, Sean jumped off. Which is the?
You're still there. It's just
Okay, who should we raid? Shantaki, Cody Shibi, Amarath,
Amrath.
Commander Biscuit,
Is she alive?
Kaijin Man.
Biscuit.
Looks like Commander Biscuit is drawing some trading cards. Let's do Commander Biscuit. Unless anybody else in suggestions. Anybody in suggestions on who to raid? All right, let's just do Commander Biscuit. I just pushed raid. What am I doing now? What else? Did we start raiding yet?
I don't see it.
It says start raid. You already have a raid in progress. Okay. It's setting up the raid.
Oh, it's going slow.
Thanks for watching, guys. Happy holidays. Thank you for joining in on chat. And raid now. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
All right. Did the raid go through?
Yeah.
Wow, 2 hours still. Damn. I thought I was going to finish an hour and a half. All right, let me get out. Let me sign out.
You went hard with that picture though.